In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I wasted 3 years trading, the mistakes I made in this 3-year period that I hope you guys, by watching this video, won't make the same mistakes. Again, there was lots of positives I did on my journey, but I think with these 3 years and the mistakes I made, I could have sped up the process a lot quicker, and I want you guys to watch this, learn from it, so that you don't make the same mistakes. If you guys get value from this video, make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram will be linked down below if you want to get in contact with me, ask me anything, I'll get back to you, or leave a comment and I'll get back to you. But yeah, let's get into the video. Let's go over the mistakes I made, how I wasted 3 years of my journey, which could have been avoided. So number one, when I left school, I started to learn to trade. And this was about 2018, 2019. And the issue I had is I was just learning off YouTube and Instagram and things like that. Back in 2018, 2019, there wasn't that many, it wasn't as popular as what it is now. So as you can see from this picture, I was just learning off YouTube, which is good. You know, it gave me a basic understanding. I got to learn the terms and I was picking up things. Obviously here you can see I just made an account with MetaTrader. I didn't even know what all these indicators are. I trade completely differently now. But at the time, I was just learning and it was good, but I didn't have a clear strategy. So I was not improving much. So for the first year when I decided to go all in and learn, I didn't actually have education. I was just learning from lots of different sources, and it was just contradicting information. And that's the problem. If you don't have a clear strategy, you don't have an edge in the market. And if you don't have an edge in the market, you can't make consistent money. You might have a good month, a bad month. That's what happened with me. I'd have 1 month that was really good, 1 month that was bad, 1 month that was good, 1 month that was bad. So 1 month I think, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm starting to get there. And then the next month, you start losing and you think, what am I doing wrong? So I was hesitant to get into a community because I had that fear that a lot of people have is, are they a scammer? You know, I think it was like £500 for the strategy and like £80 a month. So it was quite a bit of money for me at 18, 19 years old. And I didn't just want to waste it, considering everyone knew that the trading industry can be known to be a bit scammy. And I had that fear of doing that. And that was my mistake. Had I got into the community quicker, I would have, that first year, I would have avoided lots of, I was learning, but I wasn't being productive with the learning. I was just watching random videos and stuff like that and just trading, but I wasn't optimizing my time. I had the fear of losing money, so not only was I not executing as many trades as I should, which if I don't execute as many trades, I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to learn from the mistakes. If I'm not placing any trades, although you're watching the market, you're not actually learning from your mistakes. And I had the fear of obviously losing my own money when paying to get into a community, so that held me back. I kept looking for the Holy Grail. So you'd go on YouTube, and obviously you can see again from this image, I was just clicking on all these different videos. And again, it was contradicting information. One person was saying, this is the best strategy. This person saying, this is the best strategy. And I just thought, if I pay for education, they'll give me the strategy and I'll just start making money. I wasn't consistent. I was struggling. And I think this could have been avoided had I got into a community quicker. Obviously, you've got to be careful which community you join. But at the end of the day, this is a professional skill you're learning. This isn't just something you sit in your room and start printing money. You know what I mean? This is a professional skill. You've got to make sure that you get professional education. You know, if you go to uni, you don't just get the degree in a month. You know, it takes years to learn from people that are educated in that sector. So I didn't get into a community quick enough, and that held me back for the first year. 2019, I got into the community. I thought, okay, I need to learn proper information now. If I lose my money, you know, if they're a scammer, I'll just, what can I do? I mean, I may as well try. I'm not really progressing in that first year. So luckily the community that I joined, they're not around anymore, but they were very good. It helped me speed up my learning curve massively, which is why I'm saying to you guys, make sure if you are going to take this seriously, I'd recommend, and I can't recommend anyone in particular, but just do your due diligence. Look at people that you think are not flashing lifestyle stuff. They're very professional, and learn. I mean, you can look at these videos online, like my channel, other people's channels. But in terms of strategy, it's important to stick with one, because if you're just going on YouTube looking at lots of different people, they're going to have contradicting strategies, contradicting information. You need to get in a community and make sure you optimize when you're in there. Because when I was younger, I just sat back. I was watching these live webinars. I wasn't asking the questions. I wasn't sending my bad trades off, which they said they would look at. And that's on me, not them. I didn't look. I did the minimum. Well, not minimum. I worked hard, but I wouldn't ask the questions that I thought in my head. I wasn't like, I'd sit there and I wouldn't speak up. I wouldn't say anything. I'd just learn I'd sit quietly and learn. And again, I could have optimized my time better. I still struggled with consistency even though I had the trading strategy. So this was a shock. I thought as soon as I pay for this education, they're going to give me a legitimate strategy that has an edge in the market. I thought all of a sudden I'm going to start making money. I know the strategy, I know the information. And I couldn't be more wrong because it took me, at the end of the month, they'd ask, what's everyone sat at percentage-wise for this month? And there'd be some people 8%, 6%, 9%, 4%. And then I was sat there negative 3%, someone else break even. I'm thinking, if we all have the same information, why are we getting such a vast array of results? And that's because you can have a strategy that works, but you have to execute that strategy. And this is a massive lesson, which I'll get into in the next slide. But just because you learn the information, you have to optimize it. You have to make sure you're outside of trading, you're staying at peak performance. You become the edge along with the strategy. It's not just the strategy, I know the information, I buy and I sell here. You have to execute it with limited emotions and have to understand your strengths and weaknesses. I was still listening to lots of different people at this point. So I'd be in this community and then I'd see an Instagram trade. I didn't trade like that day. Then I'd look on Instagram, there'd be a trader that made X amount. And I think, I think I understand what they're doing there. So I'd start diving into that, back testing that strategy instead. And then that mean I'd miss the trades that my strategy presents because I'm not actually looking at the charts in the same way. I've changed everything up. And then that meant that I missed trades, and then when I go back to my strategy again, I take a couple of losses and I think, why am I losing? But that's because I took the 2 losses and missed out on 3 or 4 of the winners because I was looking at another strategy. So you have to stick with one strategy and give it time to play out. Not to say if it doesn't suit you or it doesn't work for you to change, but give it a long enough time period to allow it to play out. Don't just take a couple of losses and then look to switch. 2021, this was a big year because I got consistent. So all that hard work paid off. I got consistent. I learned what I was doing. I could understand the markets. But this is a massive lesson, which I was never, if I would look back, I wouldn't have expected this to be a thing. So I was consistent, but I wasn't performing as well as what I should have. I was going out and meeting friends, drinking, didn't have a clear routine. I thought, I'm a trader now. Like, I know how to trade. I've been putting all these years into trading. I've finally got consistent. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting some good results. So what do? Went out and celebrated. And it wasn't like, I'm actively celebrating going out, because I'm consistent. It would just be like, I have some free time. I know there's no trades tomorrow because I've looked at the charts. There's no trades. Some of my friends would be like, do you want to go out for a couple of drinks, or do you want to go out for this? This was away in Portugal. I went to Portugal as well. And although at the time you thought it was good, it just ruined the momentum. And I was unnecessarily doing it. There's nothing wrong with having, if you want to have, people do what they want to do. If they want to have a couple of drinks here and there, that's fine. But for me, I didn't realise how these bad habits that were formed by, going out having drinks, not sticking to a routine, not working as hard as what I should have. Now I felt that I was there. I guess it's like someone feeling like they've got to a good position, and then instead of continuing to work, obviously I did continue to work, but I just slacked off a bit. And that ended up not back to square one, but my results ended up suffering. I started thinking, why am I not consistent anymore? I know the information. Why? I started having no routine. And that's because of the negative habits that were formed. Going out, having drinks, messes with your sleep. I wasn't hitting the gym, so I wasn't as mentally as clear. I wasn't eating I wasn't having a strict routine, and that was the problem. And trading is a performance-based business. So if you can do these things, whatever it takes for you to get to peak performance, whatever that may be, that's fine. But for me, doing these negative habits, I was not performing optimally. I was not at peak performance, which meant my results suffered. So this is what you need to do. This is what I would avoid doing, or this is what I would do if I was to do it again. Obviously, like I said about the strategy thing, get into a community not as quick as you can. Make sure you want to do trading, want to put the work in, because when you're in the community, it's just the start. So join someone, or look at someone who you want to be like, or they have good results and they have good strategy, they got good knowledge, and just work with that community and just get to a position where you understand what you're doing, you understand strategy, you understand strike rate, you understand risk reward, you understand all the concepts of trading. But this is the most important thing that if someone told me this, I wouldn't have believed them. But it's the habits you have outside of trading is what affects your results. So you can have the best strategy in the world. As you saw, I got consistent. But because I didn't have a clear routine, I was getting up at different times. I was going to bed at different times. I thought, there's no trades tomorrow, so I'll get up a bit later. I'm not missing out on anything. I've not missed out on any money because there was no trades. But it messed up my routine, which meant when I go to bed the next day, I ended up getting up later or not sticking to a routine. I wasn't flowing. I wasn't in peak performance. The positive habits outside of trading, like gym, eating clean. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't going to the sauna. I wasn't having these positive habits. I was going out with my mates having drinks. I was eating bad food. You're going out to the pub. You're doing all those things. And again, once in a while, that's not an issue. But for me, trading is like I said, performance-based business. And these are the things that keep people at peak performance. Getting into the gym, being mentally clear, being disciplined. A lot of the time, I didn't want to go to the gym. I couldn't be bothered to go. But the fact that I went formed discipline. It allowed me to become more of a disciplined person. I wasn't disciplined before. And because I became disciplined outside of trading, it then it went into trading. Those skills transferred into trading. You have to be disciplined to execute your plan exactly to a T, not deviating from that plan. And the fact that I remained disciplined, built discipline outside of trading, it came into trading, it helped me improve my results. Getting around like-minded people. A lot of the time when you're in the gym, you're around people and you're in these positive places. You're around people that want to do well. They might not necessarily be traders, but they want to improve their life, and it rubs off on you. You get more positive. You're not as sort of down, or you're clear. You're clear focus. So get around people, and have a bit of a barrier around the people that don't support you. People might not understand what you're doing. They might not. It's not they don't support you. They might not understand what you're doing. So people that are negative about what you're doing, just keep a bit of a distance, because it's hard enough to succeed in this industry as it is. So if you're around people that are negative about it, it's not going to be beneficial. So that's what I would do over again. I learned a lot, but the biggest thing I would say is, as soon as just because you know the knowledge, just because you know a strategy, people can pay for education and not be successful, and they're like, why? They're a scammer. It's like, no, you have to do the work outside to make sure that you're at peak performance. So yeah, I hope you guys got value from this video and you enjoyed this type of content. If you did, let me know down below. Like I said, my Instagram's down below. If you want to get in contact with me or speak to me, message me about questions or anything like that. And yeah, like I said, hope you guys get value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.